Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for February 20th, 2012. Of course, it is President's Day, and most of you are likely at home relaxing, but the weather never rests, and so therefore we're going to go on with our weekly video and our daily video, should I say. As you can see, temperatures are rather chilly this morning, ranging from the upper 20s to lower to mid 30s along the New Jersey coast. Of course, with a wind from the north-northwest at anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour, the temperatures actually feel like they're in the teens. It's called a wind chill. Now, the good news is that these winds will not last very long, and neither will this cold air. Today is pretty much the coldest day of the next 7-day period, with gusty winds until this afternoon and temperatures rebounding into the lower to mid 40s. But don't worry, temperatures are warming up and they are going to be very warm by the time we get to the middle of this week. We're talking about temperatures in the mid 50s to lower 60s, maybe even a few mid 60s in portions of the Delaware River Valley. So let's take a look at the latest observations from the satellite picture. Here's our infrared satellite picture, and you can see our storm that everyone was talking about the past week is harmlessly exiting out into the Atlantic. As I was stating, this storm was never really a threat for the Philadelphia, New York City metropolitan area. At most, maybe a dusting to an inch over southern New Jersey. And even that was on the on grassy surfaces, nothing on the roadways. So, for the most part, this was a non-event for the northern Mid-Atlantic. But for the southern Mid-Atlantic and portions of Virginia, they did have some impressive snowfall totals, around 6 inches or so, and some pictures are coming out on Facebook of the snowfall. It was pretty, impressive to watch, especially for Virginia. But for the most part, this storm harmlessly exited out into the Atlantic with no impacts whatsoever for the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. However, there is one impact. As this low pressure system is exiting and this high pressure system is building in, we have what's called a pressure gradient, and that's what's causing the windy conditions. But as the storm quickly departs into the Atlantic and high pressure builds in, the winds will die down by this evening with tranquil weather conditions expected for the next few days. So let's take a look at the latest model guidance. I'm using the GFS model guidance because for the most part the models agree on the overall forecast here going forward. There really isn't much of a difference between the GFS, the European model guidance, and the Canadian model guidance at this point. Again, high pressure will build in with tranquil weather conditions expected through tomorrow afternoon. Then, from tomorrow evening on through Thursday, we're going to be dealing with a series of weak disturbances that will move through, producing a few isolated showers, but more importantly, pushing very warm air into the northern mid-Atlantic. We're talking about temperatures in the mid-50s to mid-60s for highs Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, going into Friday. Now, should I amend that? Tuesday is going to be a little bit cooler. We're talking about upper 40s to mid-50s. Thereafter, very warm throughout the rest of the week with almost spring-like weather conditions. And you can see why. That the trough is basically centered over the center part of the country, and that produces a ridge along the east coast, so you get this southwesterly wind. You can see that at all levels of the atmosphere, down to 850 millibars of southwesterly wind, very warm temperatures taking hold. At the surface, southwesterly winds, high pressure sitting up off the coast, and we have a cold front setting up over the Mississippi River Valley on Thursday evening. Now, by Friday, this cold front is going to march on through, and by Friday evening, move through the region with a few showers, possibly even a few thunderstorms. Ahead of this cold front on Friday, temperatures will be very warm. I would not be surprised if most locations are in the lower to mid-60s for highs. For right now, we're forecasting anywhere from the mid-50s to the mid-60s, with the warmest conditions focused over the Delaware River Valley. But if this cold front is delayed by a few hours, and you're talking about a nice southwesterly wind coming out of the Tennessee River Valley, you're going to be looking at temperatures warming up into the 60s for many locations on Friday. That cold front will move through. Behind it, a polar air mass briefly takes hold with temperatures returning to near normal levels. Talking about upper 20s to mid 30s for lows, and lower to mid 40s for highs throughout the entire northern mid-Atlantic. Could be a few upper 30s in portions of the Hudson River Valley in northeastern Pennsylvania. But that cold air does not last for long because we are in a progressive weather pattern. So that trough lifts north into Canada. A new trough starts to develop over the west coast, and that means a ridge starts to build along the east coast. So while the weekend will be a little bit chillier than what we've been dealing with for the rest of this week, with temperatures back towards normal, by the time we get into Sunday evening and move into next Monday, temperatures will be warming once again into the 50s, possibly even the 60s, with the threat of rainfall for next Tuesday. So you kind of see the pattern that we're setting up here, where it's a progressive Pacific pattern with a trough in the west, ridge in the east, and for most part we end up with above normal temperatures going on through the rest of February. That is your forecast discussion for today. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. You can always follow the latest weather information at NYNJPA Weather on Twitter and on Facebook. You can always trust the weather without the hype. Have a great day. Enjoy your President's Day. Stay safe out there.